بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the grace of Allah, we began a brief commentary of Quran. We got to chapter Nisa, the fourth chapter of Quran, which is revealed in Medina. It has 176 verses. Please listen to verse 6.
وابتلوا اليتامى حتى إذا بلغوا النكاح فإن آنستم منهم رشدا فادفعوا إليهم أموالهم ولا تأكلوها إسرافا وبدارا أن يكبروا ومن كان غنيا فليستعفف ومن كان فقيرا فليأكل بالمعروف فإذا دفعتم إليهم أموالهم فأشهدوا عليهم وكفى بالله حسيبا.
And test the orphans until they attain poverty. Then if you find in them maturity of intellect, make over to them their property. ولا تأكلوها إسرافا وبدارا أن يكبروا ومن كان غنيا فليستعفف ومن كان فقيرا فليأكل بالمعروف. And do not consume it extravagantly and hastily, lest they attain to full age, and whoever is rich, let him abstain altogether, and whoever is poor, let him eat reasonably. فإذا دفعتم إليهم أموالهم فأشهدوا عليهم وكفى بالله حسيبا. Then when you make over to them their property, call witnesses in their presence, and Allah is enough as a reckoner. In previous verses, from verse 4, Allah was talking regarding to the giving the money to others. Allah started from the dowry to the wives. The men should give the dowry to the wives when Allah said, وَآتُوا النِّسَاءَ صَدُقَاتِهِنَّ نِحْلَةً. Then in verse 5, Allah said, وَلَا تُؤْتُوا السُّفَهَاءَ أَمْوَالَكُمْ. But you should not give to the people who are very naive. They are very simple people. They are very weak in understanding. You should not give them your money, it means the money which belongs to them, until they grow up, until they become okay. Regarding to the orphans, that Allah was talking regarding to them in verse 2 when Allah said, وَآتُوا الْيَتَامَى أَمْوَالَهُمْ. Regarding to the orphans, give them their money and try to take care of their money. Then Allah said in this verse, but you should know that when they are very young, you should not give them the money in their hand. Take care of the money. Give them, it doesn't mean really give in their hand. It means if you work with it, if you are doing something, give the benefit of that to the children. Do something for themselves in their benefit, in their behalf. And here Allah says, وَابْتَلُوا الْيَتَامَى. Okay, if the money of the children are in your hand, what should I do, and until how long I have to keep it. For how long I can keep it, for how long I have to keep it. And what about myself? Can I take some of the money for myself since I'm helping the child, I'm working for it, maybe I make a business with that, and it depends that my financial situation is good or not. In this verse, Allah is talking regarding to these issues, and at the end says, when you want to give it to themselves, how to give. First, Allah says, when you want to give them the money, try to test them to be sure that they are adult. Of course, when we talk about adulthood, sometimes we mean that they become ready for the marriage or the prey is obligated to them. Of course, for men it's very obvious. It is 15 years old completed. When 15 years is completed, it is obligated to pray, it is obligated to make a fast, and they are called, according to the Islam, they are called adult. For girls, when 9 years old, when 9 years finish and they become 9 years old, definitely they will consider it as an adult. But regarding to giving the money to themselves, to them, no. Sometimes they are 15 years old, 20 years old, but still they are very naive. They are very simple people, very weak in understanding. They will be deceived easily. Because of that, Allah wants to say that sexual adulthood is not enough. A person financially should become adult, socially should become adult. It means socially adulthood, it means when he comes to the society, he can work. Nobody can deceive him and cheat him easily. Allah says, when they have the money in your hand, test them. Try to examine them until you become sure that they are okay, they can control themselves, their money, their property, then give it to them. وَابْتَلُوا الْيَتَامَى, test the orphans. As I said, it means examine them, give them the money, a little money, ask them to buy something, to sell something, to see. Not even with business. Sometimes we ask them to do something else. We try to do something with them to deceive them, to see what is the reaction. They can defend themselves or not. Allah says, examine them, test them, حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغُوا النِّكَاحَ, until they reach the time of the marriage. It means they become mature. And of course, definitely we understand that when Allah is talking about the adolescence and about the poverty, we don't mean the time that they become ready for the marriage, because this is not for the marriage, this is for giving the money. Sometimes a person is ready for the marriage, he is 20 years old, but he cannot take the money. He cannot control. He spends all the money in one day. So Allah says, حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغُوا النِّكَاحَ فَإِنْ آنَسْتُم مِّنْهُمْ رُشْدًا. فَإِنْ آنَسْتُم مِّنْهُمْ رُشْدًا, it means if you find in them maturity of intellect. Maturity of intellect, it means especially regarding to the money. Can he control or not? Can he deal with the others or not? If you find them that they become adult and they can take care of themselves financially, then Allah says, فَادْفَعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ أَمْوَالَهُمْ, give them their money. Don't keep it anymore. If they ask for the money, even one day you cannot delay. It is forbidden. Until now, sometimes it was recommended, sometimes if there is nobody and only you can take care of that, it is obligated to take care. But when they become adult and they ask their money, you cannot keep it in even one day. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوهَا إِسْرَافًا وَبِدَارًا أَنْ يَكْبَرُوا. Allah says there are two different situations, different actions that they are forbidden, and you should be very careful about dealing with the property which belongs to the children to avoid these two different things, different deeds. One, Allah says, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوهَا إِسْرَافًا. Don't eat their money extravagantly. It means if you want to work with their money and get a portion for yourself, don't take a lot. Get very normal, as it is normally other people will pay, you can take it from them. وَبِدَارًا, it means don't spend their money in any way you want, because after a few days they become adults and they ask for their money. Don't spend their money hastily, to be worried that they become adults and they take their money, until you will be able to tell them that I spent the money, I bought a house for you, or I did something for you, that I made some out of that. Allah says, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوهَا إِسْرَافًا وَبِدَارًا. Do not consume it extravagantly and hastily. Then Allah says, regarding to yourself, وَمَنْ كَانَ غَنِيًّا فَلْيَسْتَعْفِفْ وَمَنْ كَانَ فَقِيرًا. Sometimes you are rich, sometimes you are poor. If you are rich, you don't need the money. Not today, for today and this month and this year, you have enough. Either in cash or you are working and your life is wonderful. Allah says, فَلْيَسْتَعْفِفْ. فَلْيَسْتَعْفِفْ, it means it is better to control yourself. Let him abstain and not to touch it. It is better not to use and take the money. Of course, it doesn't mean it is forbidden. It is better not to use it. But وَمَنْ كَانَ فَقِيرًا فَلْيَأْكُلْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. But if a person is poor and doesn't have enough money, he should eat it according to, very reasonably, according to the norm. فَلْيَأْكُلْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ فَإِذَا دَفَعْتُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ. Inshallah, for next section. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.